Hi everyone, my name is Jade Calver. I own and operate Calver & Associates Canadian Immigration Services. We're a full-service Canadian immigration service located in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Today we're going to talk about the process of immigration for foreign academics. So that's professors, research assistants, teaching assistants. I get questions a lot about, can I immigrate to Canada based off of this work experience? A lot of the questions I get are, can I count my work as a teaching assistant towards the work experience under the work experience requirement under Express Entry? And my answer to that is it depends. So if you are working as either an RA or a TA in a foreign university, so that's foreign work experience. And we need to remember that your foreign work experience, it doesn't matter if you're studying while performing that work experience. It actually does count for Express Entry under the Federal Skilled Worker Program, so you are able to count that work experience. The tricky thing with RA and TA work is that it depends on how many hours you were working and proving that you're actually paid for that experience. So lots of people will say, well, I was doing my PhD, I was doing mostly TA work. Well, it really depends. Some universities you can work 30 hours a week and you can show that through your pay stubs. Other universities, you'll only be working 10 hours a week and you'll be paid through a stipend. So you really have to be careful about what that full-time equivalent looks like and how you were paid. You really have to show that you're paid for the period that you're declaring for this experience. And make sure it lines up with how many hours you worked per week. If you're working as an RA or a TA in Canada, however, so that usually is when people are here on a study permit. So we have to remember that that experience isn't going to count for work experience under the Canadian experience class because it was performed while you were on a study permit. So no, RA and TA experience within Canada does not count. When it comes to teaching as a professor or a lecturer, so again, foreign experience, full-time work or part-time work equivalent, as long as you're paid for it, no problem, that can count towards the requirement. The other question that I get is from visiting professors. So there's an LMIA-exempt work permit, which is for visiting professors who are on sabbatical from their home university, their foreign university, for a work permit that goes up to 2 years in Canada. And I've gotten a lot of questions about, does this count as for work experience in Canada? The answer is yes. So it definitely counts as Canadian work experience, even if you're paid through the foreign university. Where you're paid for doesn't actually matter as long as you're paid for the work experience. And then for the job offer in Canada, again, because it's an LMIA exempt work permit, we can only count that as a job offer if you've already worked for 1 year in the position in Canada on the LMIA exempt work permit. So as you can see, the path for foreign academics will really vary depending on whether the experience occurred outside of Canada or inside of Canada. Those working as a TA or an RA inside of Canada, they'll have to apply for their postgraduate work permit and get some full-time Canadian skilled work experience before applying through the Express Entry program. So that's everything today for immigration for academics, either from outside or inside Canada. I hope that this information proves useful. For more information, you can visit our website at calverimmigrationservices.com. You can also visit our Facebook or book an online consultation directly on our website. Thanks very much.